name is Kevin Wyeth with the Showcase Players. I'm the director of the Showcase Players winter show, Ghost of a Chance, that will be staged in February over 2 weekends. Auditions are going to be held on Sunday, December 4th at the Abbotsford City Hall. Anyway, I thought I would keep a sort of a production diary. Right now, this is early October, and this is definitely very early in the pre-production process. In fact, right now it's mostly a solitary activity. Right now, I am in the process of blocking this play. And if anybody's not familiar with blocking, what blocking is it is coming up with where the actors need to be on the stage for certain actions, for certain lines, things like that. Anyway, a common way of blocking that, at least that I've learned, is you have your stage diagram and you use a series of markers. You could use game tokens or coins or whatever. Using Cooking with Gus as an example, which was my first show last winter that I directed, I had a 4-person cast, and therefore I used a quarter, penny, dime, and a nickel, and assigned each one a character. And then as I went through the play, page by page, line by line, I would come up with where I wanted them to stand or sit or do some action or something like that. So with Gus, there's a scene where Gussie is hypnotized, and I wanted her, and Walter, her husband, hypnotizes her because he's not her husband, he wants to be her husband, but they've been longtime roommates and lovers and all that, and he wanted to get to the bottom of her fear of cameras and microphones. And so during the hypnotism scene, I decided that I wanted them to be sitting on the couch together because it is sort of a personal and intimate scene. And so when I got to that point in the play, I moved my little tokens to the couch and made a note in the script that they would be sitting on the couch. And then as the scene progressed and Gussie became more emotional, I had Walt move over closer to her on the couch, made sure I made a note that take in her hands, things like that.
Everyone just started laughing at me, and those that weren't laughing were pointing or screaming at me. And then all of a sudden Daddy looked up and I reached out for him to pull me into his arms. But he just stood there laughing at me with all the rest.
It's all right, Gussie. Don't cry. Reach out for me. I won't let you fall.
Another aspect of the blocking is sometimes they don't tell you everything in these stage directions, and one thing that we did that was very effective, I thought, is I had the idea at the end of the play, Gussie actually proposes to Walt. She gets over her fear and she proposes to Walt, and I felt it was a very touching scene, and I thought, why don't we turn the typical male-female proposal scene on its head, and instead of having Walt get down on his knee to propose to Gussie, since Gussie's the one that was proposing, why not have Gussie get down on her knees and propose to Walt? To me, it seemed natural. It didn't seem like anything particularly big or even particularly original, you know. However, I've looked at a couple videos, and I actually went to a dinner theater with the show that another group staged, and they didn't think of it. So I'm kind of proud that we did. And I think the audience really liked that and related to it.
You are a super wonderful man, Walter Richardson, and I love you very much. You make me feel safe. So, Walter, it's time. Show me your bank book. Marry me, Walter.
So as I'm going through the script for Ghost of a Chance, the idea is to look for scenes like that aren't in the script, that maybe aren't thought of by everybody, and that the audience will like, especially in the more sentimental scenes. In this case, with Ghost of a Chance, this is a larger cast of 6 people. There is a trapdoor on the stage that is not possible for us to put where they have it. There's a sort of like a raised platform at the back of the set where more than likely that's where the trapdoor will be built, because I don't think the Colby High School would appreciate us sawing a hole in their stage. Because I wasn't sure how the sight lines would be affected for the audience with things like couches and furniture and things like that, what I did was I took the unusual step of building a 3-dimensional set using software that I have. 3D artwork is one of my hobbies. It's kind of a passion of mine. Anyway, so I took the step of building a 3D set and setting some virtual cameras out where the virtual audience would be to check sight lines and things like that as I'm doing my blocking to see how things work. So anyway, this is the set. This is one of the camera positions. I can switch to different positions depending on where I want to be in the audience. It's just a very rough approximation. Nothing is to scale. Then I have sort of an overhead view that I can look at when I'm placing my people. One of the things you want to make sure is you want to avoid placing people in a straight line unless it's some action calls for it. One of the things that Esther Rano told me when I asked her when I first directed was, is there anything I need to be aware of when I'm blocking? Because I have no formal theatrical training. And all she said was triangles. Remember triangles. And so that's something I bear in mind when I'm doing this, is I want to make sure that the stage is balanced. I want to make sure that people are not all in a boring straight line and that there's depth to the scene. This will be nice because there is a step at the back of the stage that people, when there's action back there, they can be up on that step, and that will elevate them and make them a little more visible to the audience. This here, underneath here, this is the little trap door. That's the rug that's over the trap door. And I can articulate doors and things like that. I'm having it open this way so that the audience can see it better. And so I can articulate the doors. I have movement constraints set so that they can only move a certain distance in a certain way. And that really will help things out. I have an avatar for each character. These represent the female avatars. I know it seems probably a little sexist or whatever, but I needed something that I could see at a glance. And these avatars represent the male characters. If you were to look at the set itself, it is actually what's called a vertex object. And what that is a series of points and lines that you build your model with. It was not particularly hard to build. What I did was I added a image of the set diagram into an orthographic view. So let's say top, we'll look at the top view. There's the set diagram. And I use the lines in the set diagram to draw a polyline. And from that polyline then, I extruded the walls. And then I cut polygons out for windows and doors. And to give a little dimension to the molding, I extruded those out. And then what I did was each of these areas, I created shading domains. And the shading domains, I didn't use anything very complicated, but they do allow me to shade them different colors so that when I'm back in the viewing the room, I can see what's going on. When I have somebody that needs to be, on the steps, I can move the avatar back up to the steps. If I need somebody to be sitting on the couch, I'll just move them back over to the couch. I may not even tilt them or anything like that. I can just have them sitting on the couch. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now that I have the set built, I just have to get busy doing it. Basically, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next several weeks is blocking these scenes. I would definitely encourage anybody that is interested in a role to come to the auditions on December 4th at the Abbotsford City Hall at 7 p.m. If you want to see what it's like to be in the theater, if you've been in the theater before but it's been a while, by all means, please come on down and audition. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.